Babylon betrayed. Hi, welcome back to our Director's Cuts. Here on Wednesday, we're talking about how Babylon was betrayed. It was overrun peacefully, and the only one that died that we can see in the record was Belshazzar and maybe some of his very close loyal aides. And we learned that on Sunday that King Darius, who was a sub-king, not the emperor, who brought his army in to take out Babylon, and he did so without needing to break a wall. He diverted the Euphrates River into a swamp so that his guys could get into a shallower water to get under, because that was their water supply, was the Euphrates River, to get under. But that still didn't get them into the inner city. There's really two rungs of city. And the walls would be 100 feet high. Think of that. That's like almost 100 feet high. A 10-story building is how high the walls of Babylon were. And then the archery towers and lookout towers that would be stationed all around would be approximately 200 feet high, double that. That's like a 20-story building. Think of like going into a city and seeing a 20-story building and seeing that made out of rock that was over 20 feet thick. And that on the other side would have been buttressed by houses and things like that leaning up against it to give it more stability. And on top of that, it had bronze gates. As mentioned on Sunday, this was a big factor because most gates are extraordinarily heavy and hard to use, and wood being light and easy to craft and made thick and having double walls of gates through a corridor was good to help against fire because you could simply just charge at it with fire and burn it down. But they made their gates out of bronze, and the gates were left open. Did you know that it was prophesied that the gates would be let open and that the Babylon would fall on a single night, just as it did? And it was prophesied 200 years earlier by Isaiah in chapter 44 and 45. The citation is here to look it up for yourselves. And then again in Jeremiah, he prophesies the same thing as well. That would have been only about 100 years ahead of time. So God has been prophesying even how the downfall of Babylon would happen. Was this king coming in, doors would be unlocked, God had brought supernatural judgment, and he used physical people to bring it to fruition. And so as prophesied by Jeremiah in chapter 51, that he warned that the Babylonians were going to come in to destroy Israel, but that God was going to destroy the Babylonians for doing so many years later. Those prophecies held true, they came true, and that great city that had a circumference of those massive walls that was 30 kilometers in diameter, that fell in one night and changed hands, and God brought glory to his people through the prophet Daniel. May God glorify his people through me and you today and the rest of this week. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you. Have a great day.